across river. I suppose my title would be different methods of travel. Last year I was very fortunate to go back to Egypt, and we travelled on Emirates' latest Airbus in business class area, and lived in the hotels that you'd only dream about. But it wasn't always that way, because when I went overseas in 1940, when some of you girls were only little girls, we left Adelaide by train and went to Melbourne, and we boarded the Mauritania. The Mauritania was the latest Atlantic ship built before the war, and I slept on a hammock on one of the decks. Some were fortunate in cabins, but we went to Colombo, and at that time they didn't take the big ships past Colombo because of it was considered too dangerous. So we were taken off there and put on smaller ships. Unfortunately for us, the ship that we were to get on was called the New Zealander. It was a Dutch ship and used to travel England to Australia before. Quite a nice ship, but it had brought English troops out of the Middle East, and some disease broke out and it had to be fumigated, so we couldn't have it. So they dug up an old ship. The only thing available was an old British India troop and horse transport ship. It had been out of commission for years, and they commissioned it, got it ready, and we got on board. Well, a terrific contrast in ships. To start off, it was a coal burner, and we couldn't keep up with the other ships, so we were never with the convoy. The only time we saw the convoy was when they zigzagged across in front of us, and eventually it just got to specks in the front. So it was supposed to be dangerous waters, and there we were in this old tub on our own. That wasn't the only problem. We hadn't gone very far, and they decided that all the beef and fish on board, fresh food, was not fit for human consumption. So that was all tossed overboard.
Oh, no.
And of course we were on the start of living on bully beef type of stuff. And but eventually that ran out when we got to about the Red Sea. And all we had then was herrings in tomato sauce, which was called goldfish, you know, because of the colour. Not very good diet for the Red Sea, because it's pretty hot in the Red Sea. But then that wasn't the only thing. We ran out of water. One of the crew had there was an old trough on one of the decks. I suppose he cleaned it out, but he used to fill this with water and put a bottle of lime juice in it and charge us threepence a mug. But anyway, eventually that ran out, and the only water that we had was a cup of tea at our meals. But eventually we arrived at Port Chuvik, which is one end of the Suez Canal, and that night we had an air raid, and actually it turned out it was an Italian plane dropping what's names in the canal that stopped the ships from going through. Yeah, and So we got on the train and we finished up going to Palestine. Quite a contrast in travel. Thanks, man.
Thanks. Good. Well, wonderful.